Good morning. It's good morning where I am. Welcome back. I am playing. Oh, right in your face. Sorry. I am playing Minecraft on Dadcraft73's Patreon server. New week, new plans, more or less. Today we need to fry up some chickens because feathers out of them. So we're gonna try and be building ourselves a chicken cooker. I'll see if I can remember doing this because we're gonna do it from scratch. So yeah, wing it. No bad puns intended. Those. Also, it looks like looks like I have a few people on the server with me this morning. Plus, we have supposedly have our Lego work back in place, as in it seems to be functioning. So setup goes when the server restart hits. And if anybody wants more of that, there's a team for it. So, let's get a start and first things first. Gotta get out of here. It is up. Through the game. Here we have game. Okay. If things are a little bit loud, please let me know. I do want to get things figured out as quickly as possible. Still have a gazillion cats. That seems to be a rather permanent of the city at the moment. I'm going to be trying to tell these monsters to sit down. I don't know. I think I've got maybe 7, so I've only sat 4 of them. A couple others wandering around. Random stuff. I have all kinds of random stuff. I've been sort of half paying trading with my villagers. And I'm just gonna say good morning. Everyone on the there we go. Debug them. Okay. These crew, they say they have to be careful what we say, and I think it's more, truthfully, it's probably more spoilers as opposed to actually being non-family friendly or anything like that. Although it was mildly amusing because they were just about somebody not. Good morning, Fantastic Sherlock Fox. But yeah, so they were just talking about someone who was not work friendly, but that's when I moved my bug me when I moved my beacons, I apparently forgot the box. It's just kind of been floating here while using, but it would have bugged me if I just left it there. You're not nuts, in case anybody's been wondering. While some players choose to keep their farms going at all hours by surrounding them with torches, I actually like the look. I like the look of bordering my farms with jack-o'-lanterns, and so that's going to have the same effect, but it also means that they glow at all hours and look a little. Good morning, Fantastic Sherlock Fox. How are you? Hey, I hope you don't have too many meat. Like, got a lot on your plate of late, as most people do. Hoping that felt for you. So we're going to today. My favorite commands. We'll start with that one. That. So that anything that was said just before I got in stream doesn't end up in people's conversation during stream. We're stuff and other stuffs. Great. We have lots of things. As usual, the melon farm is full. Strangely enough, with a lot of my trading, I have caught up on my sheep to the point where I dug into birth supply and storage, so that's a bit of a disadvantage, but it's just many places to find. Here's what I was using. Which world? Oh. I should be able to do chicken cookers from the top of my head by now, but truthfully that's not the case, as much as I like to go. Not so super helpful. Alright. The other thing is that every once in a while I change up the design, just minorly, and then I forget about what I've done to change it, so that's what I need the reminders for. Now, if I was smart the last time I built out a warped wood so this crazy thing wouldn't burn, but I have enough of that kick. That's where I'm starting because we need fur and chicken feathers, squids, and all that stuff for things up at the cafe. So that's just a place to start. Just get the chicken cooker out of the way because then it can while we on other stuff. Today's going to be a bit of a meandering Matt's collection stream after that. I have a large new project in mind, and on the weekend we will be having a wonderful stream weekend. So you can see that we've got the new poster up available with schedule on there. Now that may be a little hard to read, but my slots will be 7 p.m. Eastern. That's when I'll be on both days, and that's Saturday and Sunday this week. Once again, as we do just about every month, we'll be raiding from one into the other, so you may see a few faces that you don't normally see in these morning streams. Well, morning for me, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. So let's get to... Now, I may have mentioned, just in case you guys hadn't seen, this is kind of becoming my wool wall. We have a lot of white wool. Put all of this back section into white wool. Not all of it, but most of it. I dug into part of it. It used to be all of these chests all the way around in 2 layers. Not the center ones, though. But I had used some of that for my trade. And then the other ones at the moment are starting out to be carpets from the various colors. But I'm putting that up fairly. I'm also hoping I'm going to be able to audio a little bit this week. That works. Also, I've got myself a chair, which is quite comfy, actually. But I'm hoping that will discourage me from slouching into the stuff, because I believe that was getting me past the microphone pickup zone, which is part of why I might have been fading in it. Yeah, new comfy seat. Still slouch inwards, but you know, no guarantees. Stay the way it is. Moment. So, I like the way that looks. It is a bit weird in the savannah. I don't think I'll be able to do it out of. I know we don't have fire spread, so it's still if I have a bit of something. I think I'm gonna use blood. I had a couple trap doors, or out of iron, and do those part. Yeah, I'm gonna do the trap doors out of iron because it's far less likely that I'm going to be a mistake. Trap doors with these not like to, unless you got other things. So that means that I will have less issues when it comes to accidentally opening parts of the chicken farm that I did when I go to click on them and fix them. Works with that. With that, and then of course pieces that we need for redstone, so forth. Gathered up and dealt with. I need a small farm because I don't need a whole. Frankly, I don't even need it for food. While I'm here, oh yes, Gurgly had a bit of a mistake. Farm functions, but I had forgotten. Yeah, somebody had told me that things bob up and down in water, and somehow my brain didn't put 2 and 2 together. Oh yay, that's fantastic! I don't need this night sensor because there are definite other ways to do things. Yeah, well, I got that all swapped out, got myself a zombie, completely forgot that when he went down into the water because of the way I had built the thing, it was going to turn into a drowned. Well, on the bright side, aside from the fact that his face looks bizarre at night when you go walking by and it's glowing, he still functions with the arm, so that's perfectly fine. I'm just leaving him in there. But I will admit, if I had to choose between the sound sets of zombie versus sound sets of here, I would take rounds are highly annoying. No. Oh. Okay. At least this one wasn't horribly detrimental to all over. A lot of running. Definitely not a happy camp. As you can see, he picked up one of his buddies on the way by. Zombie flesh. Yeah, apparently when I go for one zombie, I got 4. So I managed to get. Could be worse. Last guy was hanging onto a piston. Oh. Get some bubs. And they stack so well. I can't remember if it's one observed. Back. Predator. Yes. Should be. And then we've got tons of lava kick. I was being moody. I had a very, very nice gift from, I don't know who it was that went and did the pickup for me, but somebody came and dropped off a bunch of shells. And, yeah, I was just being a little bit ridiculous. In any case, I was being a little bit silly, and I decided that I would, as I did with the first batch of shells, just set it all up and leave it till. That's really what I was going to do with the ones I picked up anyways. I didn't end up picking it myself. Out of my hand. I think I've got what I need. What? Squirrel. Starting a build. It's not. Right, fine. Bucket. Bucket of lava. I don't put myself on fire. Open. Granite looks great in. Irons. So this weekend, nothing too much happened. It seems sometimes that life gets away from us, and it's super busy anyways. So we have soccer in the mornings. Well, we had a soccer in the morning Saturday, and my daughter, and then on the day we had a game for my son in the middle of the day. I'm not a morning person, so I'll be perfectly honest. By the time I got myself organized, it might as well have been a morning game soccer by the time my day was moving. Not right here. I know everything looks cramped, but at least it gives you more selection in builds. And then the farming bits kind of... Stairs are in a stupid spot, but that's because they were meant to go up to the melon farm. Bother taking... Oh, I didn't bring the eggs, but I will go back. And might help if I bring redstone. No, that could be... Buy it. Good news. But yeah. So anyways, the other thing we did on the weekend. Plug me in. On the weekend, a fantastic box built for me. Put together for me some shelving. I have finally moved down basement, and I'll be for those of you that are on Dadcraft's Discord, because I'm broadcasting his. I'll just post my picture in his pictures section. But I've got two shelves, one of which hasn't been filled yet, and it's going to be mostly craft supplies. The other shelf is full of Lego now. Well, I shouldn't say full, mostly full of Lego, except for a spot being reserved for a couple of the builds that may get built. My office is here. Yeah. The new shelving. My space. Way in it. But it allowed me to spread out a little bit. And I like very multi-purpose room. Craft room / office. Computer room / I don't know. I don't call it my office, but I don't know why, because home club, other than being a parent, and that's not really you need to have lots of stuff. Much stuff over here. I have enough chest. Run out of space. Problematic. Down a chest. Dug a hole. Not where I put it. The beacon's gonna be playing a little bit of music based on where we're building various different larger builds. Part of why I'm fussed about crowding out. Worth it. Move things around later, and it's a bit more space when I. Don't want to turn the other way. Much. There. Oh. These are a pain, because if you take arrow goes, it's always pointing the opposite compared to what I read. So, I have to we'll do it a little bit fast, but hopefully we but yep. We'll drop it. And we'll make her go on the generic running around is part of why I've got the beak. Get things. Or no bad puns. Oh, of course. Every kind of stone. Oh, and the boat. Hey, situation. Coffee. All right. So I'm going to figure out what else I've forgotten. Always something. Okay, so button. Hold that one. Vertically. Minutes. I know I've done it with iron door before, and I can't. Oh. Okay. So you can see that just had a notice pop up saying the server will be starting in 30 minutes. 30 minutes, I'll take a Lego break and do a couple of steps. We've got Fluffy from Water Mode. Yeah. Guppy. Play with his 3 heads again, so. This. Ride by lava up there. Down the trapdoor. Oh my God. No. Oh, I make the front part all across. So watch everybody go. Class. Gracious me. In the savannah. So this would watch the chickens. You could double it up just to that, and it gives me a place to stand when I'm actually me. Corners out, so I did. Pass. Out. Truthfully, I don't need the ones around the bottom. I actually have that way. Then I can have the impression of the passing. Once. Good. All right. And the dog likes me. Moving things, then I'm like, oh yeah, I need. First. That may have. Is, but down here. Bit. Oh, apparently. Sure. Health. Or if you don't, I'm hoping I'll be able to hatch. It turns I can't. Then bait them in. I can do it. I just get it. Yep. Think. I'm angry. Bye. Okay. Put it? That one. Great part that's doing this. All of that. Yeah. So the thought on this one is that if I do not fire the display, the eggs will build up in there. I can chickens, and then we can get more eggs growing. Right. That was the plan. That's some paper. Thank you, Slipper. I was trading it with photographers. We've got some actually building up in here. Backs. I'm gonna go with the ink backs off to shops. But enjoy your dinner, Grief. Thank you for unofficially stopping by. That was funny when I've got stream and thing with other streamers I watch. I find it kind of amusing when conversation is split between the chat going on in game, the chat going on as a part of game on their stream. And the reason I find that kind of funny is because some games, particularly Bedrock, depending on how the stream out their layout, their overlay, may or may not be able to read the chat all that well. Sometimes the back to the chat say that unless they read it out verbatim, nobody saw it. Nobody saw it, and if you saw it, then how can the squid did fly, but I didn't. Anyway, so when something reacts to something that nobody has any clue what actually happened, sometimes it feels sort of out of context. And I don't have a problem with reacting to something they don't read out loud if I can read it myself at some point, like on the screen, or if it's somebody who texts, or if they out loud, you know, like ways around it, but just out of the blue type comment, throw me a little bit, especially when I'm asking. I have a feeling a distinct minority, as in probably a lot of viewers don't, because that's not for. I'm doing this manually simply because, one, I find it enjoyable, and two, yeah, the water looks really cool in this one. So this is a result of the shader pack. Oh yeah, so I'm doing this manually because I enjoy it. And two, once I've got basically a chest full or barrel full that it. So this particular shader pack is a result of, I believe it's complementary shaders, which I like the clear water, but it also, the complementary shaders do include the little sort of square sparkles on the top of the water that come up more like you'd see in the pack. I'm not exactly sure if I like that or if I prefer the fully clear water that some of the other packs provide. But the complementary shape, my current favorite. I know I'm sort of waffling between this one and Project Luma. One of the perks to this is on the morning after, if it's raining at night, then you can look out, face to the west, see a rainbow. That's really cool. You can set your settings so that you see a rainbow every, but I've got it set so that it only happens after. That was kind of a fun little touch. I find the sparkles a little harder to going on from the top, but I've debated building a squid farm. I'm not really sure how much I do, which is part of why with it. Accidentally tag official. Probably running a low on cat food. I'm actually quite pleased that I have squids a lot. Last season in Bedrock, long I sat at Riverside, not get or fish or hardly at all. Annoying because ink and ended up having to rely on some very friendly, helpful people like Arch Thunder. Had large quantities from various different farms and stuff. And so it's nice to be able to have an area where getting a little bit more luck. Because I mean, it is one of those things I don't feel is worth bring best of stuff. Although taking long enough to get one stack that may be better off to build. I really don't think that crews are going to need a whole lot in my bookshop anyhow. Kind of a lost purpose to build a whole farm. But you never know. I keep missing. Out of picking up. Hokidana? Hokidana. Yeah, that's as far as I know reference. Hoki, that sounds. Hokidana is a phrase I've kind of picked up from my mother. I don't know where she got it from. But yeah, it's just there's a lot. And well, because what? Not. At some point, I made collecting lump, but I can't recall whether it's this version or another version of the. They're actually quote unquote fixed, not be aquatic anymore. My bow, and it's not add-ons. Like I've actually tried. Oh. Bow doesn't like. What I mean? Not full. So I think what I probably have to do. My tablet found and stuff. Head for the fall. I'm unfortunate in developing a unintentional hall of heads at the hall, just because it'd be a convenient place to that are a result of things that I've done, whether intentional or accidental. But I figured that was just a convenient spot to put things. Only thing that I will get on stream not be going in the hall of heads ever is if I accidentally. Llamas may end up there, because I don't have as big a blubbering a llama, and robot llama such as, but daughter sheep. I'm especially annoyed if I had clubbered a sheep. One of the first things he likes me to do. Enough iron. Just so that my dad's in the hole and out and actually works well, but that's actually kind of glad I know bingo. A lot of people who play bingo, of course, are making good use of, and yeah. I don't think the version of bingo is one that I'm winning all the death free. Hearing noises. I think I may have just left a program open in the background. Kind of like when you hear text. Can't remember what that particular thing or buzz or. I think a squid farm in this is relatively productive. Elves are relatively productive in manual hack and slash variety. But because they're so productive, as long as I've got an open some brown bothered. I would almost box packets. Round hotspot. Ooh, Lego. Okay. Kill this guy because I'm. Go. Oh.
Hello.
Hello, Zerk. Hopefully you're having a good day. Fantastic Sherlock Fox. Go. Convenience. Hey. A rip. Oh, your buddy. I'm gonna vendetta with you. Bye. Go off and get water, get ourselves safe. We'll build some Lego. Now I will point out that I'm going to give you a little bit of extra Lego. Some for the redemption, some for the fact that the reboots on the hour at 11 my time, so in less than 10 minutes. That means I might as well just do a double header. Since I'm apparently gate challenged again. Wow. That's not yeah, that's not a skill. Under this. Need to interpret what I'm doing. Well, that's not a big deal. I've been wanting to try and check it. Thank you, Fantastic Shark Box, for poking me to do so. Take a quick pause. I'm going to swap over to the Lego screen. Desks. Alright, so you guys can see that we've got some Lego going. I'm just taking a quick look over my shoulder to make sure I've got sound. So someone will have to tell me if they don't see sound after all, because I'm getting looping, I think. Yeah, okay, we've got sound, so let's go with it. Alrighty. So we have Lego. Yeah, I'm hearing me. Just give me one quick second to kill the monitor on that. On the bright side, I guess, if I'm getting it looping like that over my shoulder, then it means definitely I have a microphone, which is an improvement over last week. So, where we left off, we have Fluffy, there we go. We have a body that's got with leg pins, and we're starting to get... My son thinks this is a tail. It may be, based on the size that we're looking at, but it confuses me a little bit because we've got piece in through here, at the top here that looks like it's manually remember what I was going to say, that it's manually not manually put on there, but we've got there we are. My point being, we've got 3 more. So if that's just a tail cover, initially I thought those were covers for like his toes, but that doesn't make sense if there's 3 more, because he's got to have more than 3 feet. So we'll see. In any case, okay, so we've flipped pages. Just making sure that I haven't missed anything. That one there. Just trying to figure out where I left off because I still did not remember. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the next piece we're going to need is a couple of pieces that we'll just flip onto the top. And they're going to go right in behind the raised piece we have at the edge there. So I'm just going to put on the cross piece, and then 2 of these little, it's like a 2x2 with 1 bump missing because it's sort of chopped off at the corner. Right? And then they want us to put 3 of these little 2x1 dark parts across the top. Oh, no, actually it's, yeah, 3 of them. And then, oh, I see, okay. And then we've got another one of those feet that I was just discussing. All right. So sometimes I jump the gun just a little bit. 1, 2, and 3. And then we've got the foot. Comes across the back. Oh, not the foot, but the fuzzy piece. So, okay, then what do we want at the front? Oh, they want some wedge shapes. So we've got a 2x1 wedge shape. We've only got 1 of these, so it looks like we're making some headway then. No bad puns intended. Followed by 1 more of the darker parts just to go below it. And then 1 of the fuzzy... Oh, I see. Okay, so this is going down across the front. Maybe. I have missed something. Oh, too far. There we go. That's all the fuzzy down the front edge. Alright, now, that's probably where I would stop as part of Redemption, but it looks like we are any second now going to have the server reboot on us. This is going to reboot in 1 minute, so we might as well make a lot of noise here and turn the page. Like those read-along books when you were kids, you know? Ring! Time to turn the page. Alright, so then we've got a weird little one here with 2x1, but it's got like a socket on the edge of it. And the socket shapes seem to sit on the flaps that we've got. Oops, wrong way. Are reoriented. With the little socket parts leaning forward. Sometimes I wonder about the color choices of the various pieces, because sometimes it seems to be color matched or like a palette that works well in terms of similar tones, and then you've got a piece that seems very out of place in terms of color, but usually by the time you're done those pieces aren't visible, which makes me wonder if it's just an economy of production, the production costs, or if it's like that because of wanting to emphasize something during the build process. I'm not really sure, but it's just kind of interesting because some builds will have like a really I was doing brick heads, and they had like bright red bricks that ended up hidden away in the middle of the heads as part of the build. But it just seemed really odd during the build. The same things happen with a lot of the other sets I've got. But I suppose, other than being part of the generic base house kits, the pieces were all custom for when they originally were designed and created. And then there's not really a whole lot of point in changing the color on them for every single set. It just makes production far more expensive, particularly if it's going to be hidden away in the center. Okay. So after that, we've got a couple of little wedge shapes, and then there's some slightly curved clips that just go over the edge. What do we have next? Oh, another socket piece that sits right in the center. So I'm assuming then, because we've got the 3 sockets like that, we can now see sort of upside down-ish. But the front, then I'm assuming that's probably where the heads are going to mount. But you can, pardon me, you can see on the desk below we've got different little fluffy heads, and they're all different. I mean, they have different scowl on the front, and they have a different. Some of them have their eyes open, some of them have their eyes closed, and are drooling. Kind of gross, I guess, but I like it. And so I'm sure that that's probably going to end up mounting on the front via some little pins that we've got. 1, 2, and 3. But those aren't yet, of course, so not distract myself with those. Okay, so got the mounts there, and they want us to set this piece aside and start again with another chunk, which then will have a vertical piece on it. And we've got, what else we got? It's like a 1x1 double depth with a big hole through the side of it. And then one of these 1x1 little half pieces. Yeah, okay. And where we go from there? Got some little black bits. Oh, they're there. It's a 2x1 really, but it's got a like a bump clip of sorts on it. That's going to once again indicate some rotation. And we just turn that around, set it on this way. Flip the page one more time. See where this bit's going. Okay, might as well complete this chunk because then we can get it onto Fluffy. So from there, we've got another one of these little tiny ones. I think it's just to level off the 2 at the top. And curved piece. Little edge to it. Let's snap that on. Come on. There we go. And where's the next bit? Oh, another one of these. They're curving the whole piece around it, or rounding it off. I have to flip it over, and on this 2 by whatever, got a round section. Alright, and then what have we got now? Where's the other piece? Oh, I'm doing these in the wrong order. Hehe. 2x1, and then by 1. Now this bit with the little fork wedge on it is going to clip onto the black bump we just had. But I need to add round black toe, front toe on end, I guess. Oh, it looks like it is going to be a toe. And another piece up top. So this looks, unfortunately, a little bit like the leg. I mean, now given the scale of the head, you don't really want a leg much larger than that, but it does imply the model's going to be a little bit on the small side. That's alright. Great so far. Part will snap onto that but there. And it wants us to repeat that. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to snap this on. There we go. There's Fluffy's first leg. Of course, he can't stand on it yet, right? The whole thing would just fall over. But yeah, there we go. And there is Fluffy's first leg. All right. So I'm going to head back over and just make sure the server has restarted and see if we can get back on. I will be right with you in just a moment. And we're back. So, server came up. Looks like all is good. Went aside from needing to sleep. But at the moment, I'm the only one that jumped back on, so we see some other people arriving back on the server. Should they wish to be there at the same time I am? I suspect Creef may not. And the other one on there, probably away from keyboard. Yeah. I'm just going to toss inside the shulker box, because that way they're there ready for delivery. And rid of, I don't need that. Also, glass. A lot of semi-empty chests, but it's just things don't always fit in. Crowd. Okay. Full. Clouds went off. Dirt. Goody. Need more sugarcane for Eston. I think we could now. I got chicken. I'm gonna end up with far more cooked chicken than I know what to do with. However, better than a kick in the pants, because we're getting what we need. Feathers. Hopefully. Oh, whoops. Might as well. Fun. Arm back on. Grown up chicken. Not a one. I feel like I'm stuck in bingo game. No eggs! Okay. Fine. Just spent all day. I thought I put it down somewhere. Highly possible. But more. You have plenty more. The cows are really breed. Okay, once you've got yourself a farm. And what else? This is probably around that many cows. So yeah, I don't need. And I don't currently have a variety pack on. Cows are all looking the same. One thing. Yeah, so anyway, I'm actually pleased that so far it seems like the Lego went okay. Have not heard any complaints, so that's news. That's complete. And more quick, see if we have the more easy to grab squids, a distractor, or start grabbing materials for actually, I've got a couple of options. I can either have more materials for the big build, or I can run and more literally what I'm looking at for the more material. Doing anything with that space. Never cleared one. I've seen what they look like usually, but everyone's very slightly different. Guys, excellent that, so. Not findable. Sure. Ah. Come on. Probably, aside from building a farm, there's probably far more method. Or actually. Feel free to get in minutes, but if they're not, it's actually kind of. I'm kind of glad actually that I came across ideas for what I needed to build next, and knowing that I need to look in how to build a rig farm, just because I've never done it, so I want to learn to do it. And when I'm this crazy close to having a pillager outpost practically next door, this spare village practically next door, then I don't need to worry so much whether or not it fits the base style, because it's not a march for me to get to. Do you have this? Oh, they're there. Dropping. They keep dropping. Actually, I keep failing to pick them up. I am finding that I'm in against. If time goes wonky, you let me know. Probably one of the disadvantages to style character side here. Just that Jackson step straight. They're there. I always use this. One of the things I'm also considering doing way of actual him. I didn't have the technology, but not because I that encourage me to sit up straight, actually interact with you but more effectively. Works that, but I'm trying to figure out how I. There. For me is. There's the outpost. You know. Told that it's all fucking. Part of why we end up getting pulls. I wouldn't say a ton, but felt like it's annoying. I don't know, I found for the. I've kind of got builds. I'm gonna switch that on. How we feel for fashion make structure. Looking forward to trying that, but I wasn't sure if I bring the. Maybe I'll do it. Watch it remind. Besides, building builds, very like large statues. Hey. Not much. Put in some more. Take care of the creeper bothering me. Doors and the back to I think I need a better name. But at least room and a purpose and out. And I'm practically done with that space. Aside from some mountains and diamonds and tables, books, but that's okay because that would be the last piece that room needs aside from lapis, books, and big enough to give you stuff. Come on, man. See? That's it. Yep. Directions. I'm disappointed that the I've got another 5 I've seen on the side, but sure. 5 quite see it across the there it is on there, I've got a campfire under it and whatever, and I was intending to come back and pick it up. But being not up at all, I don't do it later, then that's it is what it is moment. As and I'll get back to doing else. And that's I can't imagine quite fathom, but have certain respect for a person who's hours of their time she's hanging out with product shop. Part of that product shop that was loaded on Village. There's part of it that won't. They did anything problems with it. For example, I have here, but my journey map is supposed to show critters by I'm having a zombie in the forest, kids in water. Got that part. Chickens. Ooh. Chickens. There is a not like crying over figured since it nope. But one of the other things I've noted is depending on which mod quality of life, I don't actually mod the game itself in the way it functions per se, but by having me not get lost definitely ups. But I can get easily frustrated. Quality of life, but in any case, end of the port. If I had the power, I wouldn't. But one of the mini maps I've got it loose sort of items, dropped items. Every time a chicken does what chickens do, and then that dropped dot waiting for me to collect it. Good case in point is it will also show some of the mini maps also show, it'll also show like wheat seed, but I went with journey map, which doesn't do that because it actually shows little. If I happen to be out at night, I can pick wider than my. Bro. I want to see what. Ooh. Aha. Yay! Busted. Actually, I find it funny that these ones, I've seen them quite a lot where they hang from the iron bars or cheap by some other method, bended in there. I kind of wonder why that on the ground, but just oh. Suppose if my not the big oddly you're not hearing who are you box. No microphone or no game voice kicking out like or can't say whether it's just but the levels that I'm kind of cool. Penis. Time. Oh. One of those things that I wouldn't really bother stopping for. Except that I have another whole lot. I don't really have another rack per projects. But you heard me saying earlier on stream, I could do a squid farm. And if I'm going to do something like that, then magma block is quite useful. Might as well just take get the gold, get usually it doesn't take it does leave a weird scar hole. Not a huge pink. Eat it, so I didn't bring it. Once, thankfully. I up taking down one of these nether portal thing. Knock on wood moments. But I was taking down a nether portal. Happened that I dug down and ended up in lava. A little leery to go fast, even though it materials don't necessarily helpful. I'd rather have the material. It's interesting when the gray part behind these portals, but also that it's one of the few spots where the nether naturally comes out. That's kind of effect. Plenty of people who do it intentionally, part of their builds. Not everyone does it. Concept I liked. So far, I've only used lot for build vision. Got a bamboo generally set, and there's plenty of other sorts. Fine though. I guess if I was like overhead more often, like people who fly probably would. I really do. And yours are. I just have. I mistakenly thought that the village next door would possibly, but it's not. Another village. Which is having another village nearby helpful villagers, but it's also helpful able to deal with that outpost. Something goes wrong, end up with that omen or something. It's a raid. I can run over there rather than running back to my. Not a total safety, but better than kicking. That means that if I have to that would sometimes I get a little bit complacent. I enjoy my super jump just a little. Not worth the effort of bringing the beacon over. Keep thinking, oh yeah, I'll just put it down, I'll just grab this. Out of here. Just do this. Out of here. And not so much. But other spend the time. Well, I'm always wrong. Well, get it all set up and don't need it up. Why I hadn't spent thing was huge or I was purposely... Uh-oh. Thanks. Made. Not good. Not good. Hmm. You knock on wood, right? Lava, and there it is. Up to that. Come on. And if I don't... It didn't last long, did it?
Hello.
Hello! Welcome back. Welcome back, Creep. Hopefully it was tasty and filling and you didn't feel too rushed. I would feel bad if you felt rushed. Just as... So while you were away, Creef, gone and found myself a portal. Down. Found a few spots of extra lava, a couple minor surprises. Yeah. It looks like nobody but me back on the server, which is okay. But, so whoever else was, when you were, dinner was good. Well, yes, I could, and parenting is important. Of course, that's part of why I stream other more popular spots. For example, I was looking at evening time slots, my time that is. So probably, well, as Joe would say, or Carnage Joe would say, pushing out Z's, sleeping away. But I decided not to do them on Wednesdays, not as a regular thing. Those would be the days my kids soccer practice, football practice, and football on America. Anyway, but they may still pop up from time to time because we've given our kids the choice most weeks as to whether or not they want to go end their siblings' practice. They don't have a choice on their sibling games. We make them go to those. Just in theory, they can cheer them along, but also as a parent, I want to be able to watch our kids. I mean, if I had my druthers, I'd watch absolutely everything, but it does make sense to not have to have the sibling go to their brother's practice. Be there. Definitely not in their list. Thing that I'm going to force them through. Yes, I'm disappointed, but But on the other hand, if I was at home, what would I be doing? Probably. So, I mean, not really a loss from their point of view. Fine. But anyways, yeah. Tonight, though, my son does not get a choice and has to go to practice because over at one of my son's over at one of my classes, and therefore he does not get a bye. Yep. I'm dumb. But he does not get a buy on whether or not. So I hope he does well with his English speech. Now, when you're saying an English speech, is it actually like over here in Canada we have to take English and French because French is our official second language, and so sometimes kids have to do classes in that. Or are you referring to English speech as in like sort of a literacy type of class? Because we used to call it English, but for some reason now they don't language arts or at the elementary level. Not for my, they call it literacy. Bigger. But anyway, so is it a language-based, or is it more of the literacy type thing? Reading and writing and that sort of to know. I was thinking about it the other day. I mentioned to my husband last night. I'm taking a course, certified in essence, what we call respect a second language. Okay. Ooh, you know what? That's far more interesting. So what chosen subject did he talk about? Knowing what other people are interested in. And also what sort of preparation? Just going through it as a practice? Pointers based or what sort of awesome parenting he asked you? Ah, cool. I like one. over here if we get asked to do stuff. Like I think the last one I did, where I don't really want to be on fire again. I keep thinking I got the last of the lava blotted out and plugged up, but apparently not. Or, but wait, more. The life cycle of the axolotl. Okay. That's not something I would have expected. I'm really, really curious. I assume that we have small axolotls and big axolotls, and they have big ones make the small ones, and yeah. Although, I mean, axolotls are named after known, as far as I'm aware, so there is more to it that he can talk to them. If that was more than a 30 seconds required. Last speech, like those sorts of I had to do was university introductory German class, but it was really introductory German, so you could talk about whatever you wanted. And I remember a buddy of mine and I worked together on a speech, a little introductory speech on brine shrimp, sea monkeys, like the kinds of things you could find in a dried out package for kids to hydrate and breed in a jar. And yeah, it was. Well, there you go. You've got fodder for next week's stream. Oh, just in case you didn't know, my son says the axolotl ... That actually would be kind of came up with. Pretty cool. I would expect going to sound English and arrogant. It's not intended to, but I would not be surprised if it's probably more accurate. If one of the multiple languages on the planet that sort of dominates things, English, this is where if you're going to do some of your research or a book report or a topic report or something like that that you're working on, I'm sure that it's helpful to be able to at least semi-fluent reading English, because your number of sources that are referenced in English is a bit overwhelming. Given, now I say that about English, though I have actually seen very nice databases over the years where they weren't actually done in English, population sizes I suspect, they were actually done in Mandarin. And but if you're talking a lot of the scientific community, you're going to usually get, I find, English, a lot of French, German, and then of course there's your very typical stuff where they'll start in one language and then they'll drop out to Latin or something. Scientific language, but not actually spoken as such. But you know, every once in a while you get the stuff where there's enough scientific terminology in it, it might as well have been Latin, just bad grammar. Bad or missing grammar. Yeah. One of those things where, like, talking in scientific community, English or French, but and it's largely because scientific research done in English, published in mass consumption, as well as French sometimes because it was the scientific and diplomatic language for many, I was going to say so many decades, but we're talking the order of like centuries. Funny, because when you talk about expansionism, in Canada we hear more about the expansion of the English, talk about the or less. So I'm wishing him all the best in his presentation. I hope it goes well for him. Is he okay with class presentations? Suffer from a little bit of stage fright. That's something that my son's really by. Bothers him a lot. He has anxiety attacks over dealing with people. yeah, for sure. Sure. Language. In Canada, or in my part of Canada, so I'm in Calgary, which is in southern Alberta, province in the western part of Canada. And depending on which school you go to, English district, or in the English system, you may get second language French as early as starting to grade 1, but it's not, as far as I understand, not mandated by law that it has to be taught until you're grade. So some schools get right from square one, some get only from the grade on up. We've got some that start at middle, and then of course there's always optional French immersion language schools where French is the main language, but some of them are aimed at kids that speak French at home all the time. Other ones are aimed at parents speaking, but feel they should have solid enough grounding of French so that they make that the primary. I've got scout leader friends that we work with, who daughter takes school fully in French, even though they speak English at home, the vast majority, but it's because they're from a much more province. They're like their background is. So it's kind of funny because she said reads books in English by choice. Doesn't have a lot of books in French that was not something I expected. Question? Exactly. I mean, parents prefer it. As I understand it, African language with relatively rich history and influence in terms of both your, political history and also just in terms of development of the language, kind of a blend language based off of multiple other ones. And so sometimes people want to, it's maybe partially by their own family background, which language influence they had. That sounds weird, but I could probably explain it a little more clearly without expensive. It would just take me a while to say it properly. One of those say what you mean. Yeah. I miss a second language. I don't think I could successfully pick one up now. Related to this sort of full circle, I guess. Respect in sport for activity. You have to take. But related to that, you have to talk about injuries that can happen while people are doing their activity. And one of the more common ones, just you don't think about it in terms of studying, but because it's a blended course for sport leaders and stuff as well. Then we also talk about concussions. I mean, it can happen when you're doing things as scouts. Get concussion. It just made me think about the fact that I've actually had my lifetime and was recommended not to have. Sounds weird, but as in I was told, don't think there's been a whole of gonna mess with your life or whatever, but we don't recommend you have a third one because it's fairly likely you would. And then some of the more modern research gonna mess you up after your first one. So I mean, pick your journal of the week. But how that affects it is just, I was thinking about that I wonder if some of my ability to learn things and or retain information eventually were situations I'd had in the past. I don't know. It seems a little weird. It's not an excuse to rely on that. Not remembering stuff. It does make me wonder because it's a lot better than. I miss being able to learn languages. I really enjoyed French. Really well at French. Such that our teacher kind of let us muck around. And so I was a little bit lazy in terms of doing my class because I could actually get work done. fairly well, fairly quickly. And our teacher actually, at the time, used to make a big deal out of the differences. So, like in English, one of the things that your son may be coming across is a discussion of regional differences. I mean, with regards to, like, are they learning an English that's more sort of United Kingdom style focus? Or, the South African English is its own thing, but is it more similar to English or American English? Some of the grammar changes. And so I did well enough with the French, and our teacher was actually neat because, partly due to having traveled, actually made a big deal out of some of the grammatical, or not really grammatical difference, for the cultural language difference. French is a bit weird. I don't mean French as language. French people are a bit odd in that their language is monitored. Not a constructed language, but within reason, it's actually a patrolled language, and have to be a lot of new words, have difficulty getting into. If the government department feels that there are enough existing words in the language to be able to describe a concept accurately, so their official language programming in print for newspapers or particular governmental documents, but news programs and stuff like that are in official, which every once in a while is kind of funny because French will have concepts, not always, but sometimes French will have concepts for stuff, like modern technology concepts, where the language describes it well, but the straight out translation of technology is different than you would think. So I'll give you an Italian example. They don't do this, but the Italians are so for example, the Italians are up with a bird. Fantastic Shop Fox actually told me this story, so he's going out if need. But Italians kept with a word for the cellular telephone, which I think it basically is a cellular telephone. Hey, Peregrine, good to see you. Doing well? So they came up with the term for the cellular telephone. However, that wasn't what the locals called it. They had a cellular telephone, then they had a cell phone, and then a huge version of it, like places apparently referred to as telefonino, as opposed to a telephono, sorry, the telephone. And the French are even worse for that. So people would pick up and use the iPhone, but there probably is some official governmental phrase on how to describe a cell phone. It's just that kind of weirdness. So we find it, but I mean, for example, English, it does a lot the same way. The UK English will have more often, they'll have supper being the late night meal, which would be after tea, and potentially even after dinner. So some have breakfast, lunch. Well, I mean, North America's messy, but we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner or supper. Some people have breakfast, dinner, and supper, and then tea in there as well. Like, it gets really convoluted. In different places you go, say it differently. So to say, oh no, I'm not really all that hungry for supper, I'll just wait and have a late night snack. People will look at you funny because they actually be having your late night snack at first time. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But it's kind of, I enjoy international differences. Putting away some of the I will lose. Yep. Yeah, well, exactly. Like, afternoon tea is in the afternoon. That's pretty straightforward, afternoon tea. But is the meal after that dinner? Supper. And would you hold it at, like, anywhere between about 5 and 7:30 p.m.? Or is supper, is it like 11 p.m.? You know, it's kind of inconsistent worldwide. And that's neat. The language fluctuates. That happens. Oops. Those things stack. Oh, box. Most of it's stacked. Ooh. That's real. Figure out where my labs had gone. Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Some families here will refer to dinner, and some people over here skip the dinner meal, the term, and you supper for that same time slot. But it's kind of funny because you hear about Sunday dinner, going over to someone's house for dinner, Sunday dinner at so and yet colloquially supper. And there's some places, some families I've hung out where it's same time slot is called supper all throughout the work week and potentially even on Saturday. And if it's Sunday, it's dinner. And their excuse for that was to break it up the way that one would apply that, you know, some versions like supper was interruptible. It didn't have to have the whole family sitting at the table. They could be going different directions, etc. But dinner was along with the family. That it's different. Or it's interesting. They're not different people. And there's the other. Yeah, well, that's it. Like a prayer again. That's exactly it. You go back and forth between calling it supper and dinner. And our house, it's all muddled, and the kids are doing somewhat interchangeably, because precisely mentioned before that families do. So I don't really. My family growing up was one that was always supper. We were going to supper at other people's houses. But I'm impression from different things. My mother-in-law. Dinner type, or you say dinner's ready, but it's hard to be concrete on that because but even getting in by the fact that we have so many smart devices, the Google Home things, and they're fussy as well because broadcast ready, but you could also ask it to broadcast the supper's ready. And the funny part is, sometimes it'll understand one, and sometimes because it's seeing its own what you say. So it's consistently inconsistent. And I just glossed it. There was no point in pointing out. Telling. So, one more check on the chickens. I can actually fire up the farm properly yet. Otherwise, we call it a day. Tomorrow I will be back doing Mist. Whatever Wednesday, yes. Done. I figured out what I had clicked on last week. The person who wrote the tip sheet I was following, or the generic, I guess you could say. They had obviously done the game before, like I had, but I was very rusty about it. And so I was wondering why we weren't on some would have helped us, and not got stuck. And it just turns out that, yeah, I had completely forgotten about a zone where there were a bunch more information to learn, and an area where we had been that additional paths we could follow, and the tip sheet that I was following not force us going there. Remember where to get the skills I needed. So, yeah. Long story short, other paths we can follow while I try to fall into my chicken. No chicken. We hop all day. And I probably injured the first chicken. If they grow up, I can start them, and then we can get that one good. But yeah, so I'm back for Mysterious Wednesdays tomorrow. Doing more Minecraft on Thursday, depending where you are, of course. And then, yeah, we will probably be doing some more prep for one of the bigger builds, unless I get itchy and want to go bashing the pillager spot. So just give thought. I was down south here, river. Kids, you see that I got over to the side, and there's the tower we could see from where we were. So it's not that far, and it did not look that much of a nest to worry about. It's going to be relatively straightforward, but what I'm thinking about doing is, if I manage to take that down during first stream, which is, my son tells me is pretty likely, then I'm going to want the supplies to be able to do something with it my second week. So maybe doing that, collect those supplies instead. But yeah, that's the plan, and spot. I'm gonna stand on the top of the beacon, then I realized that's just loud. A diamond shovel. 5, please. So, I want to say thank you to everybody that dropped in today. Special thanks to Fantastic Sherlock Blocks, and to Creef, and to Peregrine. I hope you guys get to enjoy your day. We'll see you soon. Go to the end screen and see if there's anyone raid. Got some bus. I think we're going to head out towards Gruva today. Oh, that. Head out towards Gruva. Give him all our best. Feel free to say hi. Have yourselves a great time.
Mischief managed.